Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, third-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys face off with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Certainly the game of the weekend, maybe the game of the year, the battle of the unbeatens as we get underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the second-year man out of Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
What a start to his NFL career as a rookie. 19 touchdown passes in just 6 starts. That was more touchdowns than Joe Flacco, Tyrod Taylor, or Marcus Mariota. And Houston went 1-8 after losing him, which lent credence to many people saying he should have been the Rookie of the Year based on his play and how Houston did without him.
On first down, it's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The numbers for Miller in last week's ball game, very, very strong, well over 100 yards.
He should get the ball early and often here, too. I mean, when you're riding the performance of last week into this game, his confidence level has to be off the charts. Go ahead and keep feeding him.
They go play action here on first down. He sets to fire deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Despite a rookie season cut short with a torn Achilles, Deontay Foreman showed flashes of being a big-time running back in the NFL. In college, he looked like a runaway freight train. A big guy that not many people wanted to get in front of. That didn't change in the NFL. Once he got a little bit of room and started to rumble, people had to make business decisions in the secondary.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. And now the defense for Dallas.
Coming off a career-high 14.5 sacks in 2017, which tied for 2nd in the NFL, is DeMarcus Lawrence. How did he get to be so good in 2017? Consistency. Finally able to play pretty much a full season to show off a nice array of pass-rushing moves. He knows how to get to the quarterback.
Come back, come back!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's letting this one go for 4. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On fourth down, here's the veteran Shane Leckler to punt it away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. First down, Prescott looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a big play for the Cowboys on third. 42 yards.
That could not have been timed out any better, and that's exactly what receivers want. The ball in their hands as quick as possible allows them to catch it at full speed and take off and go. And how about the end result there? Big-time run after catch yardage. That rack yardage is so valuable for any offense.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 22 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Prescott now on second down. And this one complete to Julius Thomas. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Bruce Ellington. And now out comes Houston. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A quick hitter complete. It's Fuller. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Griffin. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. Richmond. Out of the gun, Watson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Bruce Ellington, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Prescott. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 12 yards and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a short gain down to about the 33. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing, Prescott. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. The give is to Elliott. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Zach Cunningham coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
But no Texans start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about it on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side. knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
And a look now at Lamar Miller. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage.
That's caught inside the 20. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Watson making up for some lost time here in season number 2. He's got the Texans on the move with a first down. From the red zone now, Watson flushed out right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Come back, come back.
Throwing again is Watson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Fairbairn able to put this one through. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Chris Hogan, a touchdown catch in the victory. Let's stay in the AFC East and head a few states down to check on the Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Paxton Lynch, 3 touchdown passes as his guys stay unbeaten on the year. And finally, Monday Night Football has a good one down at the Superdome. An NFC battle between the Redskins and the Saints. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 2nd down, Prescott. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. To give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. 10th carry now for Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office, the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And the pressure gets to him again. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Ellington now to return it. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now it's Watson. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the 1st battle. Keep coming after him. Put the pressure on him.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, The way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They start on the ground with Elliott. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to face a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It's a big play there on 3rd down. 44 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play out of while you've got them rocked on their heels.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now Prescott. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Julius Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum. and even more hope when they had to slog their way downfield. They got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. On 1st and 10, Watson looking deep downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Texans will add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2.
Tiger. Richmond.
Watson now to throw. Flush to his right. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
And so let's start talking about all-time records because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence or maybe starts a new streak now because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking this record out of play. But Mark Brunell, when he was with Washington, 22 straight completions to start a game. This guy's on fire. I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Prescott from the gun. And he finds Julius Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. They'll throw again. Prescott. He finds Hearns left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. On 1st and 10, Prescott. toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Julius Thomas, the intended target. And it's second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. From the red zone now, Prescott is going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. To the air again, Prescott. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And that's the play, that pick by Mathieu, that will seal this football game.
The Honey Badger does it again, and I think one of the best nicknames that's ever been given. Just so inspired. He may not care, as Honey Badgers don't, but he understands how to get around the ball, and he just sealed another victory.
How do you know about the mental psyche of a Honey Badger?
That's always been the expression. The Honey Badger, he doesn't care.
Come back!
Throwing now, Watson. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it, but you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Kareem Jackson, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And Watson's going to throw it here. He's going to look deep down the field. Steven Anderson, 33 yards. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. Allen Hurns, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Just a formality now, but here's the extra point. The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Houston, they pick up win number 4 on the campaign as they emerge victorious here. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm